Next up, chain migration. And so when we look at immigration to the United States, overwhelmingly those who come in, so the international migrants who come into the United States, utilize chain migration. So we look at the Asian population. So Asian populations, we see them clustered in certain areas of the country, particularly the coasts. We can see that in Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and Oakland, but also there in New York City and in Chicago. And so urban areas, we're going to see density of Asians, but utilizing chain migration. Oftentimes what will happen is a migrant will move to the United States, and then over a period of 20, 30 years, then make another migration pattern, make another move. So over time, you see more of a dispersed pattern beyond just those core areas that have traditionally been the gateway cities for a lot of Asian migrants. And when we zoom into Indianapolis or metropolitan Indianapolis, we can see the yellow stars downtown Indianapolis. We can see kind of, with the transparency, we can see some of the cities, Carmel, Fishers, Greenwood, Avon, and all of that. But the general pattern as far as where we see Asians using typically chain migration, we find them in the north side, particularly Carmel and the Zionsville area. Also in the south side, we see a cluster, and that's the Burmese population. You see the Burmese population is this little navy blue box that's inside, just south of the yellow star, and that's the large Burmese population that's moved to the south side of Indy. But nonetheless, we see a pattern that's different than other ethnic groups, other racial groups, in which it's a little bit more suburban, a little bit more dispersed, not in the inner core, with the exception those areas right around the university. And so you do see a lot of Asians throughout the country that have migrated historically to college towns to take advantage of research universities and all of that. Hispanics, once again, also for the most part utilize chain migration. So you see large groups that migrate, and they use those networks. They use those family networks. So those networks as far as people who are from their hometown, and we see these specific migration streams develop. In the case of Hispanics / Latinos in Marion County, you can see a core area is on the west side. So the near west side, just to the west of downtown, you see a large Latin American presence. And that makes sense because of the chain migration, in which over time people migrate and they want to be around people that are like them, people who speak the same language, people who like the same food. And this makes sense. We can see this culturally, but we can also see this in the patterns produced from this map of metropolitan India.